Let's check out the Audio Stick by Skull Co. Alright, so you might be thinking, Andy, hang on a second. The Switch already supports Bluetooth wireless connection, right? It didn't for a long time, and then randomly Nintendo just implemented Bluetooth support for wireless headphones, right? And I was so excited because I was like, great, I can finally use some wireless headphones on my Switch. But there was a big problem. I've got some Sony wireless headphones and there was hideous latency. You know, it was so delayed. I was like, this is rubbish. And I went back to just using the 3.5mm aux cable instead because it was just better. However, if you're having the same problem, that's where this comes in. And this is the Audio Stick by Skull Co, which is a Bluetooth 5.0 transmitter. But it's not just for the Switch, it's for the Switch Lite. It can be used docked as well on the PS4, the PS5, MacBook, iPad Pro, TV, and other devices, basically anything that supports a USB-C. Now, just going over some quick sort of specs in case you're interested, I'm just going to read it from the box. So there are some low latency sort of things just here. So for aptX, it's 0.06 seconds, aptXLL, 0.04 seconds, AAC 0.09 seconds, SBC 0.20 seconds, and that's the latency for those different things there. So what you get inside the box is actually the device itself, the Bluetooth transmitter, and then you get a bunch of different spacers essentially. So you've got a spacer for the Switch itself, for the Switch Lite, if you're going to be using it on anything else, and of course you can also use it without any spacers if you already have a case on your Switch as well. And then there is a USB-A to USB-C adapter cable, which is what you can use to plug it into any USB-A device, or let's say the dock, so the Switch dock, you can plug it in like that, or anything else that doesn't maybe have a USB-C. But if you do have a USB-C, well then you can just plug this into your phone, into your laptop, wherever it is. It's pretty cool. So already the benefit of one of these is the low latency. So they're saying that, it's Bluetooth 5.0 and it supports much better latency than say the Switch, because there's clearly some issue there with my Sony headphones at least, but this definitely gets around it. So how do you use it? Well, you choose what spacer you're going to use. So basically the dongle itself is just this little tiny thing here, and then you choose the spacer depending on whether you're using the Switch Lite, or using it with a case, or using it with something else, or just using that extension cable as well. And then once you've got that plugged in, it basically draws power from the Switch, and then you've got two buttons on the bottom. So you've got A and B, and then there's some different lights as well to tell you how the Bluetooth is connected and what sort of protocol it's using. And those two buttons, the A and B, is how you set your headphones up. Now you'll be thinking, hang on, there's two buttons. And that's right, because it can actually support two headphones paired at the same time, but it actually can store 4 headphones on the system itself via those two buttons. But if you paired a fifth one, well then that erases the first one that you've synced, and then if you did a sixth one, that would erase the second one, and so on, So this can support 2 sets of headphones together. However, I have to say right now that I don't have 2 pairs of wireless headphones, so I couldn't test this, sadly, because I only have 1 pair of wireless headphones. But to pair it, what you do is you hold either A or B, hold it down, and then have your headphones in sync mode, and then it will just automatically pair, and then the lights will basically say that it's paired, and you're ready to go. It's really as simple as that. And then the same for the second one, the second pair, you would hold B instead of A, let's say, until that starts flashing or whatever, and then it connects up to the other one. Obviously, I only tried this with my Sony headphones because they're the only wireless ones I've got. And it does say on the box that they are optimized for AirPods or AirPods Pro, but again, I'm not an Apple user, so I don't have those, so I can't test it. I'm sorry. Okay, Andy, but what was it like? Did it work? Well, yes, it did. So the latency I was getting from my Sony headphones paired to the Switch just natively, just directly to the Switch, which was horrendous for me. I couldn't use it at all. Like I said, I had to go back to using the cable, which was really frustrating when you've got a pair of wireless headphones. But connecting it to the Audio Stick, Well, that solved all my problems. It absolutely fixed it, and it was brilliant. Like, it was so nice to actually use my headphones wirelessly and get a good signal, get a good connection. Everything sounded great. There was no delay, because beforehand there was definitely like a 1 second delay, like a whole second. It was so out that it was noticeable, you know? It wasn't even like bearable, it was just horrendous. Whereas with the AudioStick, it just works. It works. Again, it can support up to 2 pairs of headphones like together, so both of you could listen to one switch. And again, that can work on your dock. So let's say you're playing on the TV while you and your friend or your partner or whoever, you could both have headphones on instead of blaring the TV speakers out. So you could game all night if you wanted to. I just knocked that over. Now, the spacers are really easy to use. They just literally slide over the top of the device, but I would say it was a little bit tricky to get them out. Again, there is a nail slot on the back, so there's like a little sort of recessed area to get your nail in so that you can like pop it out, and that definitely helped. Luckily, I've got some nails, but if you don't have any nails, well, then it will be a little bit more difficult. You might have to get something small to like pry in there, but really, it wasn't a big deal. It sits in there nicely. It connected to the Switch absolutely fine, so I've got the Switch OLED, so it just like slides up into that sort of like groove on the back of the Switch there. The Switch Lite connected absolutely fine. It was fine with the case on as well. I put one of the Skull Co like grip cases on the Switch OLED and then put that on as well. Absolutely fine. I tried it in the dock. Absolutely fine. I've tried it on my phone, absolutely fine. I didn't have an issue connecting this to anything. So you can pretty much connect it to anything as long as it's got a USB-C, input, and then it's going to work. So if you're like me and you've got some headphones that it doesn't really work very well natively on the Switch, and you really, really want to use them wirelessly and not have to keep using a cable, maybe you've got like some earpod things and you've got no cable option, well then this is probably the way to go. But Andy, how much is it? Well, on the Skull Co website, it retails for about $30. It is currently on sale right now, but yeah, it's about $30. And here in the UK, on Amazon at least, it's around £30. So I think it's about £27 or something like that. So it's not necessarily cheap. It's not like £10 or like $10 or something like that. It's a little bit of money there, but there is some good technology going on here. It supports 4 sets of headphones paired to it. Oh, and they auto reconnect. So you don't need to like reconnect it every single time. It just kind of connects. Once you've paired it, that's it. It just works once it's on. So you can have 4 headphones like synced to it, but you can have 2 at the same time going on. You can use it on pretty much any device. So if you've got other devices that don't support Bluetooth audio and you just want to have some way of connecting your wireless headphones to everything, well then maybe it's a good investment. I think the quality and the sound quality is definitely good enough to warrant that price point. But if it already works fine with your Switch, if you've got wireless headphones and you don't even notice any latency or anything like this, you don't need to buy this. The Switch has been updated to support Bluetooth connection with wireless headphones. It's only if you're having issues like I had, then this is probably the best way to go. And if you haven't seen them already, well then go and check out these videos just here, which are some other videos about some Skull Co items. So there's probably a case there and another case, and whether or not it's been uploaded yet or not, we have got a video about the dock coming soon. So there is a Skull Co dock, which is absolutely tiny. And yeah, well, if it's on the channel, it'll be in front of my hands. If it's not, then it'll be uploaded soon. Subscribe.